The Buffalo Sabres just answered their biggest question going into the 2019-2020 offseason. Now we have to ask, was it the right choice? Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to a Buffalo Sabres edition of Believers Talk, where we talk about the Buffalo Sabres. Before we do that, however, I want to remind everyone, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Not only do we keep you up to date on the Buffalo Sabres, we keep you up to date on the Buffalo Bills and all Buffalo sports. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. What do you think about the Buffalo Bills' most recent re-signing? They re-signed Jeff Skinner to a 8-year, $72 million deal. You're talking about $9 million a season for the next 8 years. What does that mean? That means that Jack Eichel and Jeff Skinner are going to be linked together with this team for the next 8 seasons. And that could be a great thing, but you have to ask yourself, was this the right move? Now, in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres are a benefit of the fact that Jeff Skinner was on this team when he entered unrestricted free agency. So that means we had the luxury of signing him to an 8-year deal, where other teams only had the luxury of signing him to a 7-year deal. So he gets that extra $9 million at the end for that extra season, and maybe one of the factors when Jeff Skinner decides to sign with the Buffalo Sabres. This makes Jeff Skinner, of course, the second highest paid Buffalo Sabre, obviously only behind Jack Eichel. This makes him the 16th highest paid player in the NHL. Now let's talk about Jeff Skinner for a second, and then we'll get into, was this a good move or not by the Buffalo Sabres. So Jeff Skinner was drafted in the 2010 NHL draft, 7th overall by the Carolina Hurricanes. He then, in the 2010-2011 NHL season, became Rookie of the Year. He has had five 30-goal seasons, and then, of course, last season with the Buffalo Sabres, you're talking about a 40-goal season for the first time in his career. Another great thing about Jeff Skinner is his durability, okay, and availability. Last season, he's the only player for the Buffalo Sabres to play in all 82 games. That's really hard to do in the NHL. You're talking about a sport where it's just hard-hitting, tough-nosed type players. He played in all 82 games, so good for him there. Now, out of those 40 goals this season, he kind of tailed off at the end. In the last 21 games, or 21 games where the Buffalo Sabres really had their slump, only had 4 goals and 4 assists. So that's why maybe the Sabres fans are not as excited about this as they should be, or as I think they should be. So let me know how you feel about this trade in the comment section below. We'll talk a little bit about it. If you ask me if Jeff Skinner is worth $9 million a year this season, I say without a doubt. What scares me, what worries me, is he is 27 years of age. Is he going to be worth $9 million in 2024, 2025? Because that is what he'll be getting paid at that time too. Now, Jeff Skinner and Jack Eichel have now become the highest paid duo out of any team in the NHL. What does that mean? That means we need to start seeing results, right? Jack Eichel and Jeff Skinner make up 22.5% of this team's salary cap now, okay? Just think about that number. Now, the Buffalo Sabres going into the 2019-2020 NHL offseason will still have about $22 million in cap space, because they still have a lot of questions, and we have to give them that. They still have a lot of questions, but they had to get the biggest question of the offseason answered right now, and that's what they do, signing Jeff Skinner to this big multi-year contract. So again, I think he's worth that kind of money right now. But is he worth that kind of money in the future? Is he worth an 8-year deal? And that's hard to say. You have to think he's going to be 35 years old when this deal comes to an end. Now, I know this isn't like the NFL. I know NHL players can play into their 30s. I mean, look at Jaromir Jagr. He played about 43, 44 years old at a pretty good level. Not worth $9 million level, but at a pretty good level. So you look at Jeff Skinner again. 5 seasons of 30-plus goals. Since he's been in the league, 2010-2011 season, Skinner ranks 5th in even strength goals. So pretty good, pretty consistent player. He ranks, I believe, 13th overall in the NHL in goals since he entered the league. So he knows how to score goals, and that's why we acquired him. Acquired him last season from the Carolina Hurricanes. We acquired him for Cliff Pugh and 3 draft picks, the highest of those coming in the second round of this upcoming NHL draft. So that, in a nutshell, is the trade, or the re-signing and information about Jeff Skinner. How do I feel about this? How should Sabres fans feel about this. And I kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier. Right now, if you tell me, hey, we're paying Jeff Skinner $9 million to keep on the Buffalo Sabres for the upcoming 2-3 years, I would say yes, that is a smart play. I think he's worth the $9 million. But I don't know if he's going to be worth it in 8 years. I really don't. You talk about a guy who again is very durable, but at some point those legs are going to get tired. And my fear is that when he does get hurt, or if he does get hurt, I don't wish that on anybody, of course, but it's going to be an extended injury, and that might lead to concern. Now you can't predict those, right? You cannot predict injuries, and you can't go into negotiations over a salary thinking about injuries and how your luck might run out or anything like that. Maybe he stays healthy for a reason. Maybe he has a good off-season regimen. Maybe he has good habits. Maybe he's the Tom Brady of the NHL. And wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be something to really be excited about? But you do have to wonder how long that's going to last. And you look at the 2019-2020 NHL season, if you're talking about paying two players 22% of your salary cap, you need to start seeing results. And I'm not talking about results as far as goals, okay? I mean, Jack Eichel and Jeff Skinner prove that they are a good tandem on the ice together. However, you need to start getting wins, okay? The Buffalo Sabres currently have an 8-year playoff drought. That is the longest current active playoff drought in the NHL. That needs to come to an end. You cannot be paying two players this kind of money. Now, the good news is that we are paying this kind of money, right? A lot of people going into the offseason, a lot of Sabres fans, a lot of fans of Buffalo sports, we have a history of not being willing to pay players, right? So that history might be gone, and you have to wonder, is Jeff Skinner worth it? And a lot of people will just be happy that we see the Sabres willing to spend the money that it's going to take to make this team good. And will we be able to do that? I know we still have a few unrestricted and restricted free agents coming up this offseason. I think we have 4 or 5 restricted free agents. And then my biggest unrestricted free agent is, of course, Jason Pominville. So are we willing to pay him for another few years that he has left in the end of his career to keep him as a Buffalo Sabre? I hope we do. I really like Jason Pominville a lot. But right now we're talking Jeff Skinner. So again, Jeff Skinner signs a 8-year, $72 million deal, makes him the 16th highest paid NHL player, 27 years old. He had 40 goals in 2018, 2019, 7th overall draft pick in 2010, Rookie of the Year, scored 20 goals in 8 of his 9 seasons. Sabres acquired Skinner in a trade. We talked about that. But again, over the team's last 21 games, he only scored 4 goals, had 4 assists. Okay, so he had 8 points in 21 games. Not that good. And 2 of those goals were in the season finale, okay? So you have to wonder if this were reversed. Let's say remember how he scored 10 goals during our 10-game win streak and everyone's excited for Jeff Skinner? Let's say those were the last 10 games of the NHL season. Would we be looking at this trade differently? You look at the Buffalo Bills, I should say, and you look at how excited we are for Josh Allen. Well, one of the reasons I think we're this excited about Josh Allen is because the last game of the season was his best, over 60% completion percentage, beat Miami pretty soundly. Now, can we say the opposite here about Jeff Skinner? Maybe this contract doesn't sound as great as it would if the last half of the NHL season was like his first half, right? And he scored, in the last 10 games, he had 10 goals to get 40 goals in a season. Would we be saying, yeah, he's worth $9 million every year, let's do it? And again, if you're telling me that we have Jeff Skinner for 2019-2020 at $9 million, I say he's worth that, absolutely. My biggest concern is when we get to year 5, 6, 7 of this contract, is he going to be worth it then? Now, at that time you talk trade, maybe be able to renegotiate a contract, something like that. But we were talking $9 million a year for the next 8 years. That's a lot of money. So what do you think? Is Jeff Skinner worth $9 million a year for 8 years? 8 years, $72 million contract. Do you like the contract? Do you not like the contract? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I thank you for joining me on this edition, this Buffalo Sabres edition. Again, Jeff Skinner signed with the Sabres, 8 years, $72 million. Let me know what you think. I look forward to seeing and talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Sabres. Now, if you're new to the channel, if you just joined to listen to some Buffalo Sabres content, then I have to let you guys know that I am an Amazon affiliate. So I ask that you go down in the description below, and there will be a link for Amazon. I'll have some sort of Jeff Skinner merchandise available to you. So if you're interested in getting geared up for this NHL season, click on the Amazon link below. Either you can purchase what's on the link, or you can just continue to shop through Amazon through that link. Helps out the channel. I appreciate greatly, and it continues to help me give you great Buffalo sports content. Again, hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I'll talk to y'all soon. Until I do, go Sabres.